we bought this boat back in November and made some journeys in it and started having problems with throttle control system. But having just random shifting into gears, random throttling up. So the Mathers control system that we had is a 580 series, which is the original control from the boat. So I started doing some research and I found a place up on Whidbey Island. It's in Coopville, and the guy's name is Bill Roberts, and he is amazing. If you need assistance with Mathers systems, he rebuilds them, he sells them, obviously. So I got a hold of Bill and I talked to Bill and decided to upgrade our throttle systems. And so we now have the ZF Microcommand 9110 series, which is the newer throttle control system. And I decided to buy throttle control levers as well as the modules or the computers that run the systems. And they're electromechanical, so they use electric motors and they drive a screw drive that moves a mechanical cable from your controller to your throttle or from your controller to your transmission. So everything is done electrically back to the control box, which is located in the engine compartment. And then from there it goes to mechanical actuation for both sides. So this is the controller at the helm. And you see right now has the two lights that is showing, the two red lights is showing that it is, we're using this control. And then the green light is showing that it's actually in sync mode. So both of the throttles, I can actually press and hold that button on the top of the controller up there, and it will tell the brain boxes downstairs that I just want to use one stick to control both engines. So I haven't done that yet. I did it on the sea trial, but I haven't done it just when we're underway yet, because I like to play with the boat and figure things out. But eventually we'll get there. We have 4 control stations on this boat, and we're on a Bayliner 4588. So we have one here in the pilot house at the main helm. We have one upstairs at the bridge control. We have one that's on a leash that's in a cabinet right behind me, that we can take out and walk up on the bow of the boat or whatever if we're setting anchor or whatever. And the last one is in the cockpit on the boat, on the aft starboard side, and that one's used more for pulling into the marinas, backing into the slips, that kind of stuff. It gives you a much better view of what you're doing, so you're not ramming the marinas, ramming the docks and causing damage to your boat or the dock. So there's more to this. I actually drove to Seattle. We're in Vancouver, Washington, but I drove up to Seattle and traded the controllers with Bill, who is an amazing support system. Even just knowledge. After we got the controllers installed and took it out on sea trial, I was getting an alarm at the controller here, and he was having a UFC fight day with his family up there. And he goes, "It doesn't matter, go ahead, go do it and call me if you have a problem." So we went out and got an alarm, and I called him and he says, "What's it doing? What tone is it making?" So I told him, and he told me immediately what the problem was and how to fix it. So I just shut the boat down. We were drifting on the Columbia River. I shut the boat down, went down to the controller, made the adjustment that he suggested. Now it runs 100%. It's very accurate, very good, very smooth control system. So I highly recommend, if anybody needs some support or some help, get a hold of Bill Roberts. He's in Coopville, Washington, which is up on Whidbey Island. So this is the main control box for the Mathers 580 controller. This control panel has a start interlock and power supply connection at the top of the control box. On the lower right corner is the interconnect tachometer that each controller monitors the speed of the motor. This is the ZF Mathers 9110 controller that I got from Bill. And here's the open case of that same controller. And here's the post wiring. If you notice on each station control, they reverse the wiring color code. So they start at the top with the purple and then start at the bottom with the purple on the right side of the controller. And then there's interconnects that these two controllers talk to each other. Here's a picture of the bottom of the throttle controls with the wiring attached to it. On the wiring diagram here, there is a port and starboard control. And the port control is the master. The starboard control is the slave unit. So it gets information from the port unit. The most important part of this changeover is to ensure that you're paying attention to the wiring diagram and how the color coding goes for your controllers. So Bill Roberts is who I bought the controllers from, and he does an amazing job of supporting a installation for the do-it-yourselfer and can provide really good information and support after the install.